There is a particular kind of frustration that comes when you understand a truth intellectually, but cannot seem to make it real in your own life. You have read the books, you have heard the lectures, you know, at least in theory, that consciousness is the only reality, that what you assume to be true about yourself will harden into fact. And yet something inside you hesitates. You look at the gap between who you are right now and who you want to become, and some part of you quietly decides that the gap is too wide, that the person on the other side of that gap is not really you. Not yet. Maybe not ever. If that is where you are, this teaching was made for you. Neville Goddard's answer to this was the doctrine of assumption, and within that doctrine, a story he returned to again and again throughout his life. Not because it was colorful or dramatic, but because it was the clearest possible demonstration that the law works even before the person it is working on believes it. The story belongs to Abdullah, the man Neville Goddard called his teacher. And what Neville Goddard wanted us to understand about Abdullah was not merely that he was wise or gifted. It was that Abdullah performed the central act of the teaching. He assumed an identity into being, and he performed it on Neville himself. Neville Goddard taught that imagination creates reality, not metaphorically, not eventually, under the right conditions. Now, always. The only reason a desired reality has not yet appeared in your world is that you have not yet fully assumed it is yours. The moment you occupy the consciousness of the person who already has the thing, who already is the thing, the outer world begins to rearrange itself to match that inner state. This is what Neville Goddard meant when he quoted the instruction from Scripture. Whatsoever things ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. That word believe, Neville Goddard read it as assume. Occupy the state. Let it be present tense and specific and already done. Now here is what makes Abdullah so important. When a young Neville arrived at his door, uncertain, searching, a man from Barbados who wanted to be a great teacher, Abdullah did not see the uncertainty. He did not respond to what Neville presented. He responded to what Neville could become. According to what Neville Goddard described in his lectures, Abdullah greeted him as though his destiny were already settled. Abdullah spoke to him about his Hebrew ancestry, something that caught Neville completely off guard, and declared it as fact, not speculation. He treated Neville's future as the present. He refused to engage with the smaller, more limited version of Neville that was standing in the room. What Neville Goddard was pointing to here is staggering when you sit with it. Abdullah was not waiting for Neville to believe it first. He simply held the assumption and refused to let go of it. He had already decided who Neville was, and because Abdullah held that assumption with absolute consistency, it became the dominant reality. Neville Goddard went on to become exactly what Abdullah had already declared him to be. The teacher assumed the student into existence before the student had any evidence to stand on. This is the mechanics Neville Goddard wanted you to take from this. The assumption does not require the cooperation of the person being imagined. It does not require their belief, their readiness, or their agreement. The state held persistently in imagination is sufficient. The man who is not yet conscious of his true being must be awakened. Abdullah was the one doing the awakening, not through argument, but through assumption. So here is what you do tonight. Choose one person in your life, yourself or someone else, and decide right now who they truly are, not who they appear to be, who they are in the version of reality you want to be true. Then close your eyes and have a brief imaginary conversation with that person. Hear them speaking to you from that identity. Hear the words they would say if the transformation were already complete. Let their voice sound natural. Let it feel familiar. Do not strain toward it. Inhabit it, the way Abdullah inhabited the certainty about Neville. Hold it for 5 minutes, then release it, the way you release a letter after you have dropped it in the box. You have done your part. The outer world will catch up. It always does. That is not a promise being made to comfort you. It is simply how the law works.